Hello, everyone. We are running up to the end of the year here, and I wanted to spend one of these last weeks on a run of crafty American whiskeys. Because whiskeys have kind of been sneaking back into my radar this year. I'd kind of been writing them off before because everything just seemed silly. They're starting to get serious again. So what have I got today? Well, today we're doing the weird stuff. Next time we'll do like the conventional ryes and bourbons and stuff, but still from craft producers. Today we got the weird ones. This is Ransom's The Emerald American Whiskey, which is, it's a kind of French oaky Oregon twist on Irish whiskey, like traditional pot still. So there's that. We've got, what order do I want to do? We'll just do these in order of strength. We're turning to Sonoma Distilling. This is, I think, illegal. It's marked as a wheat whiskey, which means it should be aged entirely in new charred oak. But no, this has a cognac finish, but they're still labeling it as just a wheat whiskey until you look in the fine print. So, yeah, there's that. What else we got? Oh yes. A sample of Charbay R5, which is basically distilled and aged Racer 5 IPA. So they're calling this a hop-flavored whiskey. 49.5% alcohol. Like I said, this is a fun one. Next up, I've never done a 3 Floyds before. They're just down the road from me. I mean, you know, it's a little bit it's a day trip, but they're kind of right there across the border in Indiana. And this is their Wolfborne, also a wheat whiskey. Glug, glug, glug. This just went on sale. I tried it at a little tasting they did at Biddings a while back, and I was well impressed. So here we are. And lastly, this is another American single cask sample. I've done a bunch of those this last year and kind of been a little bit blown away by what they're doing. This one is from Two Bar, a distillery I have never heard of. Apparently they're up in Washington State. And I don't know anything about this except that it has a red wine finish. And that is the lineup. Let's go. All right, starting off with this Ransom here. Ransom, of course, a well-established Oregon distiller. They got their start with gins and stuff, but they're doing tons of cool things now. This is made from a mash of malted and unmalted barley, and also malted rye and rolled oats. And I'm always happy anytime I see oats pop up in a whiskey. Yada, yada, yada. Ireland, direct fire, pot stills. And they've aged it for at least 4 years in used French oak. 43.8%. Not, could be worse. Let's see what we got here. I gotta tell you, like, America in general is just, we're a weird place, right? You can go to a chain coffee shop and get the worst espresso, the most boring espresso, the most mid espresso in the world. Or you can go to some maniac in the middle of Ohio somewhere who has just cobbled together his own espresso machine and is roasting his own crazy, Central African beans and is making the best espresso you've ever tasted in your life. Like, that's just kind of what we do. We're a world of extremes. It's either like super duper mid, rebottled MGP, or it's madness like this. What the heck is that? All right, so we're getting into chocolate territory here, but it's hold on. What is that? Chocolate milk. This smells like chocolate milk. Oh, totally. But it's like chocolate milk, but you're double fisting your chocolate milk with like some just straight up like milk tea or something like that. This is wild. There's some pear cobbler in this. There's some grassiness too. There's, well, really like grass and mud, so like clumps of grass that have been pulled out of the ground after a rainstorm. The French oak is really, yeah, it's contributing a certain dried fruitiness. Raisins comes to mind. Some prunes. I cannot get away from the chocolate milk. That is crazy. Amazingly, I'm not getting oatmeal. I am getting a little bit of like a dark bread thing. Not rye. This is more like a whole wheat or even a multigrain. And there's a little bit of like a new potato thing. Really, really interesting. I grabbed this off the end of bin shelf at Binny's. End of Binny's, and even just on the nose, like this is worth the price I paid for it. On the palate, come on. Oh, what a monster this could be if they just gave it a little bit more strength. I mean, like a barrel picks of this would absolutely murder. In fact, I'm going to say, if you have control of a liquor store right now, and you can get like your own like cast strength barrel pick of this stuff, maybe with an extra year or two of aging on it, do it. Do it, I swear. It'll absolutely murder. I mean, very chocolatey. I mean, but also very Armagnac-y. Hold on. What am I tasting? Okay, so there is a Tootsie Roll component to this, a chocolate milk component to this, but also like a young Armagnac component to this. Like something puts me in mind of some of the like really impressive young Armagnacs I've had from like Terra K, but also some other producers. 8-10-year-old stuff. Grapes, prunes, figs, but a little bit of a floral thing, which is, yeah, kind of very reminiscent of young Armagnac. I'm going to pour more of this. Jesus. It does have the glass cork. Remember, don't pull straight up or else your bottle will end up broken on the ground. You need to push it to the side, or you like yank it to the side, and then it comes off. So there's a floral thing, but there's also that kind of clump of mud and grass thing from the nose. Pear cobbler again. Malted milk balls. Manuka honey. That's interesting. Very subtle, but I think it's there. Lots of French oak, grapey, figgy stuff. That kind of root vegetable thing, like potatoes. Or even like yams. Yeah, there's a little bit of like a roasted yams thing on this. Very fun. Dark bread again, but weirdly it's not rye or it's not rye, and it's not oatmeal. It's like a darker chocolatey bread. It'll come to me. Really, really interesting. Like this, I like this a lot, but it also at the same time feels like this is not out of the oven yet. Like this is, you could take this style and push it so much further than this particular bottle has done. Like I said, cast strength barrel picks would be absolutely murderous. I'm going to give this a squirt of water. Well, half a squirt, I should say. And we'll come back to it. All right, the session begins well. Yes. Sonoma Distilling Company in Cali. So I reviewed a sample pack from these guys way back when, and I quite liked it. I really enjoyed the kind of aggressive grain-forward, distillate-forward, fermentation-forward nature of what they were doing. And I kind of got a little bit of shit for it. A lot of people in my friend group thought I went a little crazy enjoying the Sonomas as much as I did because they are very raw. So I thought I'd give them another shot in something that I have not seen a lot of reviews of. This is their wheat whiskey. And again, I think it's illegal. It's marked as a wheat whiskey. And if you read the fine print, it is aged for 3 years in American oak and finished in cognac barrels. 45.6% alcohol, 80% wheat, and 20% malted rye. Sounds like a good mash bill to be. Let's see what we got. Okay. I am immediately getting graham crackers and a lot of flowers. Yeah, just straight up white flowers. Okay. We're getting some traditional wheater notes. We're getting a little bit of like a frosted mini wheats thing. Certainly some Lipton's tea happening. I'm looking for mint. Usually with wheated bourbons and wheat whiskeys, I get mint. Not really here. There's a lot of flowers, though. A little bit of peach, like dried peach, apricot, dried cherry. There's a line of bright orange coming in through this. White pepper. There is some herbaceousness. It's not mint. It's more like, I don't know, thyme, maybe a little bit of parsley. Interesting. So, right off the bat, this might be the most civil of the Sonomas that I've tried, at least on the nose. Like those things could get really weird, like rotting orange and kimchi weird, and I liked that. But other people did not. So let's see how I feel about this on the palate. Very civil, very buttoned down, maybe too much so. Yeah, I mean, there's a civil, just delicious, easygoing side to wheat whiskey, which I respect. That's the Bernheim side of things. This is kind of landing right there. We are getting the graham crackers, the frosted mini wheats, that little smattering of herbs, oregano, thyme, flowers, vanilla, Lipton's tea, a little bit of an espresso component to this too, like a cortado or something. Bright orange, like a blood orange kind of thing. And some nice American oaky stuff. Vanilla, dried cherry, and some peachy, nectarine-y, apricot-y stuff that I imagine is coming from the cognac cask. It's a big old softie. I mean, it's hard to say anything bad about this, but it's also not exciting me. It's not getting my brain firing the way that some of the previous bottlings from these folks did. I don't know. I want to see what water does. Because if water brings out the madness, I'm going to get really excited. Because this already has a deliciousness factor, which I appreciate. It's just not... It's not killing me yet. There's a squirt of water. Let's move on. All right. Is this the Charbay? Yes. Here we go. We are staying in California, right? These guys are in Ukiah, right? Just a little further up north than Sonoma. Yeah. Charbay R5. Distilled Racer 5 is what this is. 49.5% alcohol by volume. Lot number 5. And I don't think they're going to make this again. I forget how old this is. I think it's about 6 years old. Jesus. Good Lord. I mean, it's distilled from an IPA, and boy, you can tell. It's got grapefruit, tons of grapefruit, orange, kind of malty apple pear thing. I cannot get over the grapefruit. There is so much grapefruit on this. And there's hops, and as often happens when you distill hops, you get the marijuana, you get the ganj. You're either going to like it or you're going to hate it. I can deal. Incredible, like just bursting with out the seams with grapefruit, but in the back there's like some cereally character. There's some oatmeal. There's some like some grape nuts maybe. Nectarine. Just aggressively fruity on the nose. More pepper. Kind of singeing my nose hairs a little bit. Let's see what we got on the palate. Oh, floral too. Did I mention the florals? Yeah, they're just kind of integrated with the grapefruit on the palate. It ain't for everyone, but not for everyone. Absolutely not. But if you kind of step back and analyze this, big arrival. Very intense. It's got complexity. It's got pretty good mouth presence. The finish is very, very impressive. It's just there's people that are going to object to this kind of flavor in a whiskey, and I get that, but I'm okay with this. You're drinking high proof IPA. That's basically what's going on. I could just name off everything on the nose. Grapefruit, orange, nectarine, white pepper. There's even a little ginger in here. The ganj, the marijuana. Lots of it. What else is there? The graininess, the oatmeal-y grape nuts thing. It's a very distinctive set of flavors, and it's got pretty nice texture, and it clings around all of those flavors, whether you like them or not, they are not going away. They're sitting on your palate, covering your palate. Just kind of really impressive stuff. You might hate it, but you have to let it be what it is, you know? All right, I'm going to give this some water, and we'll come back to it. Let's give this like a squirt and 2/3. All right, moving on. 3 Floyds. This time, not a distillery distilling beer, but a distillery, a beer producer, a brewery that also makes spirits. Now, I have had 3 Floyds spirits in the past. I tried one of the whiskeys that came out way back when. I tried their rum, and I didn't buy bottles of them, but I don't regret the experience. Let's put it that way. This is the first thing from them I actually bought. This is the Wolfborne single pot still malted wheat whiskey, and it's bottled in bond. This is 4 years old, and it is 56% malted wheat, 44% malted barley. Yeah. American spirits, they can be fun. They can be so fun. Ooh. It's again, it's not a subtle nose. The Sonoma is the most subtle nose of this bunch. This one is right up there in madness with some of these others. What am I smelling? Okay, so really, really, really grainy, in a good way. Like this. I mean, this smells like I am eating, multi-grain bread that's been covered in mud and like cherry IHOP syrup with a little bit of vanilla in there. Why not? But push beyond that, there's some delicacy in this. I am getting my mint. Yes, I'm getting my freshly picked mint on this. I'm getting my frosted mini wheats. Mint and quite a lot of florals. There's some like beautiful dried flowers on this. A little bit of rose water. It smells a little bit like Turkish Delight, honestly. So yeah, it's got a huge American whiskey character to it, but dig down in the details. There's, it has some nuance. Maybe some lemon peel in there as well. A lot of barrel char, like campfire ash as well. Fun, like a caramel apple thing. Well, maybe more like if your caramel apple was also a cider apple. There's a little bit of a cider thing in this. Okay, on the palate. Okay. So, despite the fact that this did not have any French oak on it, so far as I know, unlike the emeralds here, whatever, I'm forgetting these names. This also has a chocolatey aspect to it. Yeah. I mean, it's a fabulous American whiskey, is what this is. Really driven by multigrain bread, cherry IHOP syrup, mud, grainy dark chocolate. But And you got the florals, the Turkish Delight, the mint, the frosted mini wheats, that kind of cider apple thing. Really, just like straight up cider. A lot of pepper. Freshly ground pepper, I guess. Vanilla. Really impressive mouth presence in general. This is a fabulous little whiskey. There's a little bit of a banana peel thing to this as well. So, Old Forester / Jack Daniels fans, come on in. I don't know, like it's you're never calling any place else than USA if you're getting this in a blind, but it's got its own little twist on the formula. I'm really enjoying this. Give that a squirt of water or two. Let's give it 2, and we'll come back to it. And finally, this is the American Single Cask, release number 5, and it is a 2-bar 4-year-old from 2018. It is a straight bourbon with a red wine finish. No idea what the mash bill is. I will look it up, see if I can find it. 58.94% ABV. Normally, red wine finished bourbon is not kind of my thing, but I've been impressed enough by what these people have done. The American Single Cask people, I'm forgetting all these names, that I'm willing to give this a shot. Okay, really dusty. Feels like I'm like in a sandstorm in the desert and there's tumbleweeds flying by, but there's also like some half-ripe strawberries in the breeze, and maybe one smacks me in the forehead. Yeah, that's kind of the experience here. Some white pepper. A lot of unripe, like half-ripe strawberry. Some cherry as well. Kind of an old, what is that? Almost a rhubarb note. Like a rhubarb note and, I don't know, like an old rocking chair? Something woody and old. But the kind of dusty character on this is really fun as well. I'm looking for traditional bourbon notes, and they're just not there. There's a little bit of a graininess, like a little bit of a porridge / gruel, but nice kind of thing. But we're really dominated by like dustiness and half-ripe strawberries and rhubarb and pepper. Okay, see what we got on the palate. Oh. It ain't often. It is not often when something that says red wine finish on it can put a smile on my face. Usually I am just tasting it and cursing that whatever was there was just smothered in red fruit and bitter leaves and barrel stuff. Not this time. This is very, very, very good. This has a story to tell. This has development on it. On the front end, you are getting that kind of like chewy wood note, like dusty chewy wood, but slightly like there's a candy thing to this too. There's like a fudge element, a confectioner's fudge kind of thing. So not chocolate, just like sugar and butter with wood on the front end of this. And then it kind of transitions into a bourbon in the middle. You're getting your vanilla, your graininess, a kind of mix of oatmeal with a little bit of like street elote, street corn, vanilla, a little bit of like sawdusty stuff, sweet cherry, brown sugar. And then at the back end, suddenly the half-ripe strawberries and a little bit of herbaceousness and black pepper and a little bit of like a almost a clove element kind of kick in, some bitterness, and it works. This is awesome. It isn't just a fabulous like mouth presence. It is a fabulous development in the mouth presence. This is just a joy to drink. It's very, very impressive. I don't know where the hell they found this, but I'm impressed. Let's give it some water. I could see this being thrown off because it's such a difficult balancing act it's doing on the palate, but if it can pull this off, like we're scoring this pretty high. Let's do 5. I think I'll do it. I want to know the mash bill on this. Every time I try something from like this bottler, I feel like I need to know who these distilleries are because I've never heard of this, and it's like this producer, and it's a fabulous bourbon. All right, moving on. Back to the Ransom Emerald. I am nosing chocolate milk, and I'm into it. But I'm also nosing a hot mug of tea and some, like, I don't know, some jelly beans maybe. Really fun nose. And some Armagnac, why not? Brilliant. Love it. On the palate. I think the 2 bar kind of wrecked my palate a little bit. Let's try this again. I feel like this is a spirit for everyone. Like someone out there looked at a room of different spirits fans. In this corner were the bourbon folks, in this corner were the Armagnac folks, and maybe there were some Guyana rum fans kind of stuck in there as well, and they were like, we need to make a spirit for all these people. And by God, they've managed it. It's chocolatey. It's got some dried fruit in it, but it's also got some graininess. It's got I think it's maybe the oats that are doing the texture on this. It's very creamy on the palate. There's some chocolate, there's some toffee. It's delicious. And like I said, it feels like you could do more with this style. It really feels like you could take this as a foundation and just run with it in a dozen different directions. Starting with higher proof and a little bit older. What do I score this? Jeez. I'm stuck between an 84 and an 85, so I'm just going to call this an 84 plus. That seems to be where this lands. 84 plus. Delicious and really feels like it should be its own genre, not just one bottle. All right, moving on. Sonoma, illegal wheat whiskey. On the nose. Here we go. I was hoping this would get weird, because that's what I want from these people. I want them to be a little bit weird and rude. And now I am getting some kimchi on the nose. I'm getting some weird fermentary stuff. Yeah, there's some like funky flowers now. But it's still got that foundation of like frosted mini wheats. There's some drizzled honey on this. Vanilla, nectarine. It's just now you're dumping some like kimchi and weird flowers and maybe some sauerkraut on there. Fun on the palate. Still pretty clean on the palate, at least compared to what the nose is doing now. Yeah, kind of laid back. It's doing its own thing. I don't want to discount this. It's got its herbaceous thing. It's kind of dried peachy thing. It's frosted mini wheats thing. But yeah, this is pretty civil. This is pretty, you could pour this for grandpa, put it that way. I do think the Ransom is better, but I'll give this like an 84. 84 points. Not my favorite thing from them, but I could see this like in a lineup of stuff that other people hate. I could see them like enjoying this. Put it that way. All right, moving on. This is the Charbay Eau de Vie IPA. Let's see what we got. It's exactly the same. It smells like grapefruit that's been smothered with pot, and that's okay. On the palate, yeah, not everyone's style, not by a long shot, not by any means, but don't argue with me on this. Once you get past the outrageous amount of weird peppers, like slightly numbing peppers, there's a little bit of a Szechuan thing happening. The grapefruit and the pot and the weird graininess and the weird numbing pepper thing and the sour element, the oranginess. Once you get past all that, this has fabulous mouth presence, pretty good complexity. It's intense. Like if you were scoring this objectively, rather than just being not a fan of the flavors, this is very good right here. What do I score this? One more time. I'm going to score this in 87 with a caution sign on it. Because I do not want you to go out and buy this just based on my giving it a high score. Because this is one where you really need to go know what you're getting into. Like, you are drinking grapefruit and pot. That is what you're getting here. If that doesn't sound delicious to you, no matter how high the score is, don't buy it, or at least, try it first. But very good. Moving on to the three Floyds. The funny thing is, with the exception of the Sonoma, which is also a wheat whiskey, this is probably the most traditional thing here. It's so America. It's like, it's waving its flag around. It's covered in like grainy chocolate and mud and flowers and like Tootsie Rolls, and it's just happy to be there. Change it with water? Not really. It's about the same on the palate. It's just a darn good American whiskey with its own twist on it formula. Mud, chocolate, grainy chocolate. But you got your cherry, you got your vanilla, you got your brown sugar, you got your frosted mini wheats and your mint. What's not to like? All right. Not scoring it as high as the Charbay. I do think this is beating the Ransom though. Hold on. It's better than the Ransom. Let me try one more time. This is another one where I'm kind of stuck in the middle, so I'm just going to call this an 85 plus. You know what? No, we're going to do an 86 minus because I think I liked it a little bit more without water. I think it's better neat. But yeah, 86 minus. Moving on to what was winning the first round to my shock and dismay. The 2-bar from American Single Cask. Now it's smelling like a bourbon. Okay. You've still got that little dustiness, that little bit of unripe strawberry on the nose with this. But now you've got your barrel char, your vanilla, your cherry, your like brown sugar jaggery kind of stuff creeping through. It smells, whatever was underneath that finish is now starting to push through a little bit more. And I'm not even mad. Good nose on the palate. Nope. I liked it better without water. I mean, it's still fabulous. This is still just... if I thought about it, I might be able to come up with a better red wine finished spirit that I've had, but there aren't many. This might be it. This might be the best wine, like spirit that has touched a red wine cask that I've ever had. At least, things where it wasn't just a cask thrown in a blend. all the water has done is really like thrown the balance off a little bit. So now you're getting a more intermixing of those levels, which are more distinct without water. So you're getting the woodiness together with the bourboniness, together with the kind of strawberry, leafy bitterness, slightly medicinal bitterness thing. It's all still working. I was just enjoying it better before. Let me try and eat one more time. God damn, that is good. 89 minus. 89 minus for this 2-bar. And I did not expect to be handing out that kind of score to a 4-year-old red wine finished bourbon today, but here we are. Yeah, so that is your lineup. At the bottom is the Sonoma Wheat Whiskey. Not the best thing I've had from them, but maybe the one I would like serve for normal people. 84 points. And then you've got the Ransom, the Emerald. I mean, it's delicious. It's impressive, but more impressive is just like you can feel the potential sparking off of this stuff. You could do so much with the formula that this is just laid down. 84 plus though, really like 84 and a half. But whatever. And then the 3 Floyds Wolfborne, 86 minus, which is really like 85 and a half. And then you got the Charbay Racer 5, R5, whatever it is, 87 caution mark. Really, really good, but do be aware of what you're getting into. And then your winner for the day is this 2-bar spirits 4-year-old bottled by American Single Cask. 89 minus. If you see this at a reasonable price, I think this is worth a grab. And yeah, that is the video. Join me on Friday when we talk about the more conventional stuff from the craft distilleries. So it's still going to be weird, but you know. That's it. Thanks for watching, and cheers.